And hello everybody, we're the SpiffyNeedleGeeks, and welcome to yet another discussion/reaction to the next upcoming death battle. This time covering the death battle between Sora from Kingdom Hearts and Kid Icarus Pit from, well, Kid Icarus. I'm Supersonic 407, or Spooky Some Toad, whichever one you prefer. Returning once again are Danny, RoushutsuRises, Brian, Realm Wars, and joining us for the first time on these discussion reactions to Death Battle, BJ Brawlfan1.
Pit, this is it. Pit, this is it.
Oh my god.
You know what I just realized, Ryan? It's like this whole thing, it started with just the two of us, with, Jojo and Kenshiro. Then Crash vs. Spyro, we bring in Brian. Now we've brought in BJ. Can we please have a death battle, now maybe bring Brandon in? Can we just keep adding people every death battle?
Danny, that's only gonna happen if they bring in Choke.
Well, I mean, it's I don't know. It's technically Brandon did say he wanted to be a part of this, but he's streaming as of this recording, so it's I don't know. I feel like even if they do finally pull off a death battle that involves Shulk, he's still probably gonna be live streaming anyway.
This is true.
That would just be a sin, though.
Yeah. So for this pre-thoughts discussion, this one's gonna be rather interesting. More so, with me in this case, because unlike certain cases with JoJo versus Kenshiro or Crash Bandicoot versus Spyro, I am not entirely familiar. I mean, I get the gist of how it goes with Kingdom Hearts and with Kid Icarus. I mean, admittedly, I'm still in the middle of playing through the first Kingdom Hearts game, and my memory is very faulty with the Kid Icarus Uprising. But these three, on the other hand, I know for a fact that either A, they're very knowledgeable with Kingdom Hearts, B, they're very knowledgeable with Kid Icarus, or C, all of the above.
Or D, a Palutena main.
That said, but before we say anything else, I just have one major dying hope for this death battle. I want there to be banter between Hades and Hades.
Can we just have the two Hades? They're just sitting on lawn chairs, sipping brewskis, and they're just roasting the whole fight.
Yeah, even better, Danny. They're doing commentary.
Well, honestly, I would hope that there's gonna be at least some kind of a commentary. If anything, I would imagine maybe some witty banter from somebody, voicing Palutena, because it's especially it was fucking hilarious what they did with Joseph during the Jotaro and Kenshiro fight, and it's considering with Pit, in order for Pit to really even be up on his A game, you fucking need Palutena in the picture. So
which they've pretty much confirmed that it looks like she is going to be involved, as well as Donald and Goofy for Sora. So
which honestly makes a lot of sense. But I mean, it's if you're going to do that, it's can we please have Palutena just throwing on just some goofy commentary, kind of with I guess on the veins of what they do with Smash, when you have you can have Palutena, you can have Veridi, and you can just have goofy banner. That's what I would like to see.
Yeah, those quote unquote codec hits in Smash Bros. For Wii U.
So where does Crom fit in?
Oh god.
Yeah, Crom is the pool boy for the Hades.
I suppose I'll get my chance another day.
See, Hades and Hades are just sitting there, and they're like, all right, and we're going to be having this amazing battle between a pretty boy and a pretty kid, I think he is. Whatever you say. I kind of wanted
the battle of the pretty boys.
And then they just look at Crom.
Yeah, Crom's just the pool boy that's giving them the martinis.
It's hey, when are we getting this guy?
Oh, man. Okay. So for me personally, it's really hard for me to say who exactly would have the upper hand in this fight. So I guess it's this question solely is more aimed towards you guys. It's in your personal opinion, who do you think would win this death battle?
Honestly,
I personally want Pit to win, just because, like I said in the last video, fuck Square Enix. But it's like,
oh yeah, that's right.
But it's like,
I remember that.
But it's like, because I'm also thinking, like, not only with Pit with the flying and everything, but yeah, Pit's known for having like a stupidly large and deadly arsenal of weaponry. Like when you play Kid Icarus Uprising, he's got like a ridiculous amount of weapons. He practically becomes a mech at one point. It's where it's like, it's one of those things where it's like his arsenal is so large that I think that's how he'll be able to stand a chance with Sora, who's got the Keyblades, he's got his magic, and if they're going to be bringing in Donald and Goofy, which I suspect they will, that will at least give Sora the various the drives and stuff, like, the various forms. So it's like, I would think that with everything that Sora has to offer, Pit would have some way of either countering it or at least being on equal level just due to his weaponry alone.
Okay, so basically it would kind of be like somewhat along the same lines as, say, the death battle between Jak and Daxter and Ratchet and Clank. Like, the big advantage with Ratchet and Clank is, of course, his vast arsenal of weapons.
I suppose. Like, I didn't see that. I personally didn't see that fight, so I don't really know.
Oh, okay.
See, my whole thing is that I feel like Sora probably has the actual, like, both the strength, speed, and just and agility advantage over Pit. Because Sora, I know, well, strength maybe not so much. Agility definitely, because as we know, Pit can only fly with Palutena's help, and he's limited.
Yeah, up to like 5 minutes of flight, I believe.
Above
that, he may be able to run faster than an average human. That's about it. Sora, we see pulling off some huge acrobatic shit. And there's one part of a Kingdom Hearts game that I remember very specifically that shows that he's definitely faster than Pit, especially when it comes to swinging that Keyblade. Do you guys remember the Xemnas fight?
Where he cuts down the fucking skyscrapers.
Well, there's that too. But on top of that, I'm also remembering that just that one scene in general where Xemnas is literally barraging Sora and Riku.
Oh, with a bunch of lasers?
Yeah, and they're able to deflect them all. Like, that takes some...
only if you smash the button right.
But regardless of such, it doesn't matter. It shows that Sora can do that. So Sora, I feel, is definitely faster and more athletic than Pit is.
Actually, I do have a funny story about that, though, VJ. The first time I ever did that fight, I got to that point, and I was just, of course, mashing triangle like a madman, just watching Sora just deflecting all these bullets. But for some reason, I just looked at Riku. He was just taking them, not even trying to block them. Like, wait a minute, why is Sora the only one blocking? Then I started pressing the X button, and suddenly Riku started doing, like, oh, he was just taking damage for no reason.
Oh, well, it's something else that I do kind of fear for Pit is that, is his wings. His wings are very much a glaring weakness. I don't think I don't know about Sora really knowing to really take advantage of that. Possibly he might think to rip them off in the nature of a death battle. Maybe, I don't know. We saw that shit with Charizard and Blastoise, but
that is true.
And Kratos did it in God of War 2.
Now that said, I don't necessarily know if losing his wings will cause Pit to die, or if that was just the fact that they burnt up and that overextended him way too much to his death.
I think it's more so the latter.
I would imagine it would be the latter. Plus, you got to think, like, if Pit like loses his wings and everything, I think it would also depend on like how high up in the sky he is and everything. I mean, if this ends up being like an aerial battle and then he loses his wings, then it's like, well, yeah, then he's probably fucked. But I mean, we can see in Kid Icarus Uprising, there are those segments where he has ground combat. So I mean, it's like,
well, yeah. On top of that, if we're talking about aerial combat with Palutena specifically, he doesn't necessarily need his wings for that. Because Palutena actually did make mention in one, I forget which conversation it was in Smash Bros. she uses the power of flight on his wings specifically because that's the most comfortable spot for him. But technically, she says that she can put it anywhere. Like, she even made a joke on how she can technically lift him up by his hair if she wanted to. So,
oh yeah, oh my god, that
his
was
wings
a thing,
really are
wasn't
effectively
it?
useless. They're just she just uses the power of flight on them specifically because that's the most comfortable thing for Pit to use to fly. That's about it.
Right.
Though.
Yeah, but again, like, you know, it's like, you know, where I would say, like, you know, yeah, technically Sora can fly too, thanks to Peter Pan, but it's like, you know, I would say that it's like, if this ended up being like a quick, like, 2-minute aerial fight, I would say Pit definitely would have the advantage because he has more of the actual experience of fighting in the air and, like, you know, flying, gunning, and all that other shit. But it's like, you know, at the same time, I don't think that necessarily means let's just completely discount Pit as far as ground combat, because, again, like I said with Kid Icarus Uprising, you know, you see he's very capable, like, you know, fighting on the ground and everything, you know, and again, you know, with all of his freaking weapons on hand. I mean, this is also, I mean, it's like, yeah, Sora, I mean, because you have to remember, with both Sora and Pit, both of them, they're kind of used to going up against freaking swarms and legions of things. So, I mean, that's like, you know, Pit goes up against, like, you know, all those, like, you know, what is it, the vegetables and shit? Like, he goes up against, like just hordes and hordes of armies. And it's like, as far as I'm aware of, I think the most that Sora's tackled at one point has been 1,000 Heartless. He has, because if you remember, like, I think it's like in Kingdom Hearts 2, there is a point where, you know, yeah, he has to take down 1,000 Heartless, like, all at once.
The triangle button was my best friend in that fight.
Yeah, it's pretty much...
Sunrise.
That's pretty much what it was. It was just an exercise in the triangle button. So, I mean, it's like, you know... I guess it boils down to, so it's like, we at least have a number for Sora. We know he can at least take down 1,000 Heartless at once. But it's like, have we ever been really given a number of just how many enemies Pit has taken down? Because it just seems like in Kid Icarus Uprising, he just keeps coming by the hundreds, and he's just tearing them all down all throughout that game. So it's like,
in terms of all at once, it's hard to say for certain, because I feel like in Kid Icarus Uprising, I feel like Pit probably goes through like the same number of mooks sent his way as Sora does Heartless, honestly. But then again, that's just gameplay. In terms of fighting like huge armies all at once, I don't think we've ever actually seen Pit do anything like that specifically. Aside from maybe, I don't know. It's been a while since I played Uprising. I know in like in the flight sections of the games, he is shooting down, you know, numerous enemies that are coming at him at once. So that is to say, Pit's marksmanship is definitely on point. Pit has great aim, and as they did mention in the death battle that they're taking to note, Pit can redirect his arrows. He like, not only is he a great marksman, he can fucking matrix bullets his shit. But it's hard to say for certain. I feel like Sora because I feel like even though Pit does have a numerous amount of weapons, I feel like Sora still has a couple more options than Pit does, especially with his magic. Because like, Sora has barriers. Sora can reliably heal himself. Pit can't do that. Actually, one thing I just remembered. They're probably not going to incorporate this, but it'd be funny as hell if they did. Technically, Pit can't die. Aside from the burning up wings that we saw, which didn't really kill him, it just put him in a coma more so. Palutena did straight up say, you know, you really don't have to fear death. If you die, I can just bring you back to life. Palutena can infinitely just keep regenerating Pit.
Yeah, whereas like with Sora, I think it was like, what, I know in Kingdom Hearts 2, like, sometimes if you die, there's a good chance that Mickey will come back and revive you, but that's only if Mickey feels like it.
Yeah, and I doubt that'll be happening this time around. So that also said, that makes me wonder, because this was something that I kind of kept saying to myself beforehand. If this was just a mono gladiator style gameplay where if it was only Sora and only Pit, I feel Sora would have the biggest advantage. But it does look like they are getting their backup. Sora is going to have Donald and Goofy, and Pit's going to have Palutena's help. Because of that, I feel like Palutena herself is going to outclass Sora, Donald, and Goofy altogether.
So what you're saying, BJ, is it's going to end the way of Dr. Eggman and Dr. Wily.
Like what? Palutena just nukes Sora and then just nukes Pit for the fuck of it?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Palutena wins!
Palutena?
That'd be funny as hell, but I don't think...
Now, here's the thing with Sora that I'm curious about. That, of course, in the pre-video and everything, they only talked about, like, backstory and stuff. They didn't really get too much into Sora's arsenals.
Yeah.
But it's like, this is where I'm curious, where it's like, because sadly, Pit's only been in, like, if excluding Smash, he's only been in 2 games. There's been a lot of
3.
Yeah, but there's been a lot of Kingdom Hearts games. So that's where it's like, okay, just how much are they going to be pulling from all the different games? I mean, of course we know he's going to have the Kingdom Key. And if they're bringing in Donald and Goofy, which we suspect they are, then it's like, okay, they'll bring in the various, like, forms and shit. Usually when Sora activates those forms, he gets a second Keyblade. So it's like, okay, which Keyblades is he bringing into the fight? Are we going to be bringing in, like, are we going to be bringing in, like, a lot of, like, those action-y commands from Kingdom Hearts 2? Are we going to be bringing in the cards from, Chain of Memories? Are we bringing in those, knockoff Pokemon things from Dream Drop Distance? It's just, every Kingdom Hearts game has, like, for whatever reason, they've tried to, like, revamp the combat and add and build and change. That's like, just as Pit has a lot of weaponry on his hands and everything, it's like, okay, how far are you going to take it with Sora? Because it's like, there's going to be some, I would imagine, will be a lot more advantageous than others. But it's like, again, we don't know because they don't tell us shit. So it's like, if they're going to bring in multiple Keyblades, I would suspect that they're going to probably bring in some of the more iconic ones. Like, Kingdom Key is a given.
Oathkeeper.
Oathkeeper, Oblivion... those would be, like, those are probably, like, the top choices if they bring in multiple Keyblades. It's like, the Dream Eaters, like, maybe? I don't know. Maybe? It's like the cards from Chain of Memories, I don't know how you could possibly incorporate it, but this is Death Battle we're talking about. I'm sure they could find a way. So, I mean, it's like, I don't really know just where, Pit's pretty straightforward. I don't really know what they can bring in with Sora. Like, are they going to focus on all the games? Or are they just going to stick with just, like, Kingdom Hearts, like, 1 and 2? Just stick with them, like, the numbered games and fuck all the side games that they milk it to death.
They generally look at everything. And if they see one thing that can get, because, like, If they even try to discount even one game that could possibly lead to Sora having an advantage over Pit, whereas otherwise he wouldn't, like, there would be a huge fan outcry. They're going to look at all the games.
Right.
They're probably even going to be looking at what footage we have for Kingdom Hearts 3 so far. Which does show that looks like Sora can transform the Keyblade into other kinds of weapons as well. So,
well, I would suspect that if Pit does win the fight, I would suspect you're going to just get a massive fan outcry regardless, just because Kingdom Hearts fans are that fucking insane.
You should have waited for the 3rd game to come out.
I call shenanigans, Screwattack. How could you forget about the fact that Sora technically has the magical ability to stop time?
Yeah, I mean,
he can do that too, yeah.
This is the 3rd Death Battle in a row where you had someone who can slow down time.
Yeah, it's like, no, I remember that, because I was playing through Kingdom Hearts 1, and I unlocked the ability that can freeze time for, like, a certain amount of time. I'm just like, yes!
That also said, that actually does remind me, Pit does have a couple of other utilities besides just his weapons. He does also have the, what are they called? They're effectively the optional items to use that Palutena uses in Smash. Because all those attacks that Palutena uses in Smash are actually items that Pit uses in Uprising. Will he have access to those?
He's gonna nuke Sora with a beam of light.
Oh God.
I mean, the other thing you
Kingdom Hearts is light, bitch!
But the other thing, too, to also take into consideration and everything, because, like, yeah, we get the idea of, like, you know, their arsenal, like, the amount of things they can do, that Sora having the agility of a fucking ninja. But the other thing is that to also take into consideration is that how much pain can they take? Because it's like, from what I know, Pit can take quite a bit of a beating, considering he was able to go through an entire barrier, crash right through it, right from outer space.
Oh, actually, something to probably we should mention as well. Pit can take G-forces. That requires a lot of fucking durability.
Yeah. Because, like, we go on about how, like, you know, Sora has, like, all this magic, he has all these other abilities, a bunch of, like, flashy stuff that he can do. But the question to ask yourself is, can Pit take that? Because it doesn't matter how much power you got if you can't take the guy down.
Because that was the big issue with Crash vs. Spyro.
Yeah.
Now, that also said, there is actually, thinking about it as well, like, I've been worried about Pit for a little bit, because I know he has this glaring weakness with his wings. But now I'm thinking about it, Sora also does have a glaring weakness if he uses the drives. And that's anti-form. If Sora ends up in anti-form, he is fucked.
That would be a great way to end the fight.
Like, he is not winning that if he ends up in anti-form.
I completely forgot about that. Oh, fuck.
He'll lose access to both Donald and Goofy if they're involved.
And he loses his Keyblades.
Yeah, he'll have no means to defend himself. Sure, he can move really fast, but I feel like Pit... I feel like Pit will be able to outmaneuver him in that way.
Yeah, that would be hilarious.
Even better, he finished, like, Pit finds a way to finish off anti-form with the wooden sword.
Now, see, if I was writing Death Battle, I would just have, like, you know, Pit, you know, it's like, okay, just to be a dick, he'd be like, hey, Sora, Riku abandoned you again. No! and then it sends him into a freaking emo depression.
Okay, now you're being a little melodramatic, Danny, come on.
Wow.
Well, we all know.
Yeah, well, you know what? Fuck Square Enix. I don't care.
Sora's a happy-go-lucky kid.
Although the other thing too is that the other thing that I was kind of thinking of was since the idea of Pit and Palutena possibly being a duo together, but it's like the other thing that I'm thinking about is, would it necessarily be fair to bring both Donald and Goofy in, thus making it a 3v2?
Yeah, because Palutena's a goddess.
But it's like, I was thinking about that. Like, if they wanted to maybe make it an even fight, what if instead of Donald and Goofy, they brought in Riku?
No, they already mentioned Donald and Goofy. It's gonna be Donald and Goofy.
Oh, okay.
Because they're the ones that have been traveling with Sora, and they're the ones who give Sora his extra abilities, such as the drives.
Yeah, you know, until the day that Sora and Riku can, like, merge and become some kind of a new drive form, I don't think that's gonna happen.
Actually,
that also said, I totally see Sora breaking this fight if he has access to summons. Because if he can summon Tinkerbell, that's fucking it.
Yeah, Tinkerbell, the most broken summon in the Kingdom Hearts games.
Wait, what? Kingdom Hearts 2?
1.
Or... Oh, okay. I guess okay, never mind.
You get her automatically when you beat Neverland. So if you haven't gotten that far, then you probably haven't gotten her yet.
Yeah,
but Tink is busted because she's an auto regen. She never runs out, but she will only go away if Sora dies. And when he does die while she's out, she's an auto relife.
Yeah, so I mean, it's like, you know, summon Tinkerbell, like, at the start of the boss fight, and it's like, oh, you actually, now you're fucking broken. Because, it's like, she's constantly healing, and it's like, if you die, well, okay, she'll revive you, and then it's like, okay, just keep summoning everything again.
The Kurzitsu strat.
Yeah, it's like, Tinkerbell's pretty goddamn broken.
Actually, something I kind of want to see, because since they can all use fire magic, I want the way that Donald goes out for Pit to use one of his Guardian Orbitars, reflect the fire back at Donald, turn him into a roast duck.
Oh, that would be funny.
That also said, I kind of don't see... I just remembered something, actually. I don't see Pit lasting very long in the air.
Well, yeah, he's got a limit.
Yeah, me neither. But
No. Not just the limit. I mean, in general. I have one word. Gravity.
Oh.
And I mean the magic spell Gravity that Sora can use. The spell that knocks fuckers out of the air.
Yeah. Oh, God. So yeah, it's just like, if they pull that out for Sora, then it's like, yeah, it wouldn't really matter if regardless of that limit with the Pit's flying ability or not. You know what? That's a really good point. He will not last long in the air anyway.
Well, I guess it depends on if they're going to give them those skills. Because if you remember,
they probably will.
I don't know, because if you remember with Tifa versus Yang, they technically when Tifa's got access to all kinds of materia, yet they limited her on only a couple of spells.
They limited her to the spells that they felt was, in general, what they felt Tifa would use based on other games. But as they kind of established, it seemed like that it doesn't really matter what spells they gave her, Yang still kind of just took it.
Well, the other thing, too, is that, isn't it like in Final Fantasy VII, you can only equip a certain amount of materia to a party member?
It depends on what equipment that they have on. And it's like, considering that Tifa had Premium Heart, usually your ultimate weapons, they offer the maximum amount of materia slots available, but at the cost of no materia growth. Which
overall, it's a moot point, because Sora isn't restricted by that. He has access to all of his magic at all times. Like, yeah, nothing's limiting Sora on that. You can use any one of his magic spells as soon as you get it, how often as you like, so long as he has the MP to do it. Which I could see being a crutch for Sora if he runs out of MP. I could see that being a crutch at some point.
I know in Kingdom Hearts 2.
You know what?
In Kingdom Hearts 2, if you use Cure, it takes up your entire MP bar.
Yeah.
Well, then again, it's like, this correlates to something that I've been thinking about, like, in the back of my mind for a while. It's like, yeah, seeing as that, like, if they truly are gonna bring in Donald and Goofy and whatnot, then it's like, yeah, unlike various other characters we've seen in previous death battles, like what Danny brought up with Tifa during the Yang versus Tifa death battle, or another example, like the death battle between Scrooge and McDuck and Shovel Knight, where the biggest crutch with characters like Shovel Knight was like, yeah, he could use various spells or whatever, but he couldn't really use that all that much because he had very limited amounts of magic. In this case, yeah, I would like to imagine that Sora wouldn't be like as limited to using various abilities at his disposal, considering that he would have additional help from Donald and Goofy, who would help him like replenish a lot of his MP, like during battle.
Goofy's MP gift.
Thanks,
overall, I'm just gonna say I think Sora's gonna have this one. That's kind of what I'm thinking at this point. I think Sora does have it. Sora's stronger, he's faster, he's way more acrobatic. Like, I feel like he has way more options to counter a lot of what Pit has. And really, Pit's only crutch with Sora in this case is Palutena. And I'm wondering how much help they're actually going to let him have from her.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like Sora just, like, no matter how big Pit's arsenal is, he has bows, he has, staffs, he has clubs. Those are all just weapons. I feel like a lot of those are countered by a lot of what Sora can do.
But, I mean, at the same time, Pit also has counters to some of the things that Sora uses, so it's like, I feel like what it's going to end up being is that Sora is going to start using, like, a bunch of his moves, see some of the things that Pit's able to counter, and then Sora's going to think, okay, so he's doing these things, so I guess I'm just going to answer that by doing this. Like, it's basically just going to be them for a while figuring out what they can do and how they can play around each other.
Yeah, Sora has just way more reliable healing. He can actually fly, indefinitely, which Pit can't.
And
so
that makes Pit jealous.
that's gonna piss Pit off, honestly, probably.
See, that's how the death battle starts.
Yeah, I can see that.
No, I just imagine like, how do you do that? Pixie dust. Where do I get that?
Pit.
Screw you, Lady Palutena. I'm getting in on some of this shit.
It's like Pit eats Tinkerbell. It's like, no more busted summon for you.
Careful, lady. Considering the last death battle, it might happen.
Oh, God. Oh, good lord.
Tinkerbell goes into the big winged heaven in the sky with sparks.
You could say that it is a match made in heaven.
But
oh my god.
Actually, you know what? There's one thing that we've kind of neglected to talk about. Actually, for Pit on Pit's side, he should have access to the legendary treasure. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, the 3 sacred treasures.
Yeah, which will allow him to fly indefinitely. Actually, he has the shield, which can reflect anything, and the bow. What was so special about the bow again? I forget.
I don't remember. Again, I'm like you, BJ. It's been a very long time since I played Kid Icarus Uprising, so a lot of those.
Yeah, same here.
A lot of those specific details I don't remember. Like I remembered he has them, but what they do exactly, off the top of my head, I don't remember.
Shit.
So yeah,
I remember they basically made Pit onto a god.
Yeah. So I feel like the sacred treasures will give Pit a huge advantage, unless Sora can find a way around them, because they have been countered before. Medusa found a way to counter them. Hades was able to counter them. So I feel like if Sora can counter the sacred treasures, Pit has no chance.
Oh, that's where it's like, again, it's like I don't even really know, just because it's like, it's like, yeah, Sora's taken down all kinds of crazy enemies and everything, but it's like Pit's taken down gods, so it's like, I don't really know.
I mean, technically both of them beat Hades.
Yeah, Sora has too.
God. Yeah, it's stuff like that it's like, even from all this intel that you guys have brought to the table, and from what we've seen from the two previews for both Sora and Pit, I don't know. Me personally, it's still really hard for me to figure out who would have the upper hand in this fight. Because from the sound of it, yeah, it seems like Sora and Pit, for the most part. I mean, again, this could be just me, and of course, I could be dead wrong or whatever. Again, this is just how I feel with a lot of these dead battles that come around. But it's like, again, to me, it feels like one of those cases where these characters would seem really, really close to being evenly matched. So again, for me, it's still really hard to say who would win. I would like to say, okay, Sora will definitely have the upper hand because he has a Donald and Goofy and his vast arsenal of magic, and he can change his Keyblade to other weapons and all of that. But then we have Pit, who also has his vast arsenal of weapons, and also has the assistance from a goddess. So, I don't know. This is a tough one for me.
And he has floor ice cream.
I have no preference on who wins. I'm actually fine with either of them winning, because I like them both, but I'm leaning towards Sora. I feel like Sora is going to have this one.
Yeah, I'm still holding out hope for Pit.
Pit, this is it.
See, you're wishing with your heart right now, Danny. I'm just using the logic of the information that I have.
But technically, isn't wishing for your heart through your heart? Isn't that kind of like the point of Kingdom Hearts?
And you're using it for the other guy.
So if I wish really hard and really reach deep down, can Pit win?
Maybe Palutena will answer your prayers. Maybe Palutena will answer your prayers. And as soon as Pit dies, she just brings him back and then just kicks Sora's ass some more.
Oh my god.
Auto life, bitch.
Alright, and with that, I think we pretty much covered as much as we needed to cover. So stay tuned for when we get into the initial reaction to the death battle between Sora and Pit. Pit. We will see you guys then.
Hades.
Spoiler alert! Seriously, can't you ever keep your mouth shut?
God damn it, Palutena. Okay, I love you, but
If the fate of
God
the universe
damn
is at stake, the last person you should trust to save it is a naive teenager with magical weapons they don't understand. But everybody does it anyway.
Like Sora, the Keyblade-wielding savior of Kingdom Hearts.
And Pit, the angel warrior from Kid Icarus.
He's Wiz and I'm
I mean,
Boomstick.
Pit may look like a child, but I'm fairly certain he's way older than an actual child's age.
A death
probably. Alright, gang, be sure to pay attention very closely to the explanations.
named Sora.
And he lived on the one and only Destiny Island. Sora and his friends Riku and Kairi grew up honing their athletic skills by playing sports with Final Fantasy characters who don't judge Sora's fashion choices. Wait a minute. What the hell are Final
Can we all just appreciate the fact that Sora is effectively wearing a onesie with a vest?
Of Destiny Island,
At least Kingdom Hearts 1, it's like a giant red onesie with a vest.
would invade
Yeah, I can contest to that.
The arrival of these creepy crawlers wasn't
Oh.
the only surprise.
I guess it makes sense because how apparently the outfit was inspired by Mickey Mouse.
Well, yeah, I know that.
Well, can we just appreciate the fact that
I was just
Sora
reading what
wears
was
a color
shown on
other
there.
than black?
drawn to Sora thanks to
Shit.
his pure heart. With the kingdom
That is true, yes.
to combat the heartless.
By
Now, it's kind of sad how, like, you know, a lot of our Final Fantasy characters nowadays, they either have to have ridiculous character designs, you know, with the belts and the zippers, or they all got to be wearing black, you know. I'm looking at you, Final Fantasy 15. I mean, it's like, my God. It's like, you know, we have a rainbow for a reason.
laser beam all the way to the moon.
Unfortunately, despite his newfound weapon, the Heartless were overwhelming. The darkness washed over Destiny Island and
Can use some magic. Well, I mean, even when he lost the Keyblade to Riku, like, he was still able to use magically just the wooden sword, so it's
Well, that's
clear.
what.
It's clear.
Well, that's what.
yeah,
Well, that's what they're saying.
yeah, I was just reading, but is it really just some, or I feel like he's a pretty good magician at this point.
somehow, in some way, this impossibility exists. Turns out, while Goofy and Donald have been lovable cartoons for decades, they're also world-hopping warriors.
Oh my god, this is the best thing ever!
From then on, Sora teamed up with his new friends to lock the door.
I guess we're about to find out if we'll know for sure if they're actually going to be helping Sora, though, because that preview made it look like it was just Pit and Sora.
Sora may not have been strong enough to
Right.
save Destiny Island.
I was also kind of surprised it's a sprite fight. I figured it'd be 3D, but okay, whatever.
Including some
Considering that they're oh, wait a sec.
freezing baddies.
Okay, Kira.
Up,
Yeah,
yep,
yeah,
okay.
the
Yep,
typical.
gravity,
Yep, got
stopping
gravity.
time.
There it is.
Yeah, drive forms.
Even alter gravity.
So, yeah,
my
yeah,
God.
Donald and Goofy are gonna have to show up in this if he's using the drive forms.
Energy beam.
Yes.
And I guess he's got some magic abilities that
Also, it's like, yeah, considering that the last Death Battle was in 3D, yeah, honestly, I was honestly expecting for this fight to be consistent of sprites.
Remove negative effects, including curing his own wounds. He can also glide like Peter Pan and teleport like Figment.
I still don't know if we should call it a sword.
Wait, Sora can teleport? Oh yeah, he can. That's right. I forgot about that.
They can even transform the whole Keyblade into more powerful versions with way more badass names, like Oathkeeper.
Hell yeah.
Yep, the Oathkeeper, there we go.
Heartless and took the fight to the man who discovered them, Xehanort. He even defeated Xehanort's Heartless and his nobody.
Oh, that's kind of harsh, Wiz. Why are you calling him a nobody? He's definitely somebody.
No,
He's a nobody.
is a somebody without a heart, but a Heartless isn't.
And I don't mean that. I don't mean that literally. Fuck Xehanort.
Somebody filled with anger.
Yeah,
Like Star,
I know.
I'm a somebody that's really, really confused.
But to save all worlds, Sora found he had to be insanely strong, fast, and tough.
He's speedy enough to run up a building and quick enough to dodge magic lightning.
Not just magic lightning, real legitimate lightning from the sky, a feat which could only take mere milliseconds.
Sora put all that speed to good use once by
And there's that.
Yep,
The very thing that I mentioned.
angle in just a few seconds. So it's safe.
Yeah, I remember you bringing that up.
Yep, battled the 1,000 Heartless at once. You know.
Fly through 7 buildings at once.
He's launched them as projectiles.
Yeah, I could be wrong, but I do not recall Pit ever accomplishing. Oh shit, that's right! God damn it, how could I forget about that? I played through that part! He was able to fucking beat Hercules in the cup. Oh god, what?
1,600 tons.
That's like throwing 200 T-Rexes into the sky. So,
that was pretty goddamn funny, I gotta admit.
Honestly, Sora's ability to take a hit might be one of his strongest characteristics. He's survived the jaws of Cerberus, ancient Chinese dragons, being shot by a musket, and
Christ.
the fires of Hades.
Oh god, oh, that's right.
Hey, look, Hades. Please bring Hades into the fight.
Right. He relies a lot on his friends. Like, all the
Both
good
Hades.
He can't even enter his fancy drive forms, which boost his power and give him an extra Keyblade, without help from Goofy and Donald. So in a broad scope, he's fairly limited on his own.
No big deal, though. Luckily for Sora, most locks only need one key.
Uh-huh. I'm not sure if that was profound, or just stupid.
You're stupid.
The heart may be weak, and sometimes it may even give in. But I've learned that deep down there's a light that never goes out.
Huh. Okay.
Let us return to the distant past.
So I guess it's safe to assume that they're not. Okay, I mean, I don't know if it's just me being a total dunce and missing it, but I guess it's safe to assume like they're not bringing in Donald and Goofy into this.
It's hard to say. They didn't talk about them at all, so.
Palutena, the goddess of light.
Or specifically, they didn't talk about their abilities at all.
Yeah.
It looks like if anything, if Donald and Goofy are coming in, it will just be to allow Sora to use his drives.
Oh my god!
Which they actually didn't go into detail at all, which makes me think that they probably won't be using the drives. Like, they mentioned the drives, but they didn't actually talk about them at all. So,
yeah.
wonder about that.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I mean, you know, they did mention that, you know, Spyro could stop time, and he never did in his fight with Crash.
He didn't need to.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. In a way, Spyro didn't need to with all these considered.
Because Maximus.
No, definitely not that one. This one.
Hang on. Greatest hero ever? More like his mom needs to drop him off at elementary school.
Don't let looks fool you. Pit may seem young, but he is the captain of the Icarus Army, keepers of the peace and personal guards.
Over 25. No, he's way older than that.
Yeah, well,
over the age of 25.
Welcome to anime, where characters look younger than they really are.
Well, no, that has nothing to do with it. Pit's an angel. He's immortal.
Well, Pit may have...
Doesn't matter, it still follows the same anime tropes.
Yeah, case in point, Jotaro Kujo.
He's not
his age
Icarus
is 17,
hold on.
and yet he looks much older than that.
I like that. He's not Icarus or Cupid, nor does he say Icarus.
Sending Pit careening to a horrible end.
Oh, god damn it.
Holy shit. So the captain of an angel army doesn't have his own working angel wings. That's what you're telling me?
Yeah, it's a little strange, but don't try to bring it up.
Health recovery, freeze attack, explosive flame, mega laser, Ares armor, the reflect barrier, and invisible shots.
Yeah, those are all Palutena's abilities that she grants to Pit.
Okay.
Yeah, those are the divine powers.
Things up too.
As captain of the Icarus
Hey, Tim
Army,
Curry.
has some extensive training under his belt. How else would all these soldiers save Palutena from a sudden invasion?
Come on, James Woods and Tim Curry, come on.
Right, but what's a soldier without his weapons? Pit's got a huge arsenal of weaponry.
He's well known for his archery skills and shows it off with his trusty weapon of choice, the Palutena bow.
This bow uses awesome laser arrows that can actually be guided by Pit, and if his enemies get close.
Seriously, why did we not get this anime?
Because it'd be cool, that's why.
He is highly skilled with several classes.
Bows, blades, staff, yeah.
Has been imbued with the strength and power of the
Orbiters, cannons, it's like, I mean, yeah, like, Pit's arsenal is, like, fucking nuts.
But where are the sacred treasures?
Blades, cannons, claws, hammers, staves, clubs, and weaponized tattoos. I wish my tattoo was a weapon. Anyway, all these weapons were forged by Mentos, the god of forge.
Dintos,
the fresh maker.
God damn it.
Here we are.
Sacred treasures.
hidden away in 3 sealed caskets.
So if he gets the wings of Pegasus, he can fly indefinitely.
Can only be used by the most heroic and worthy of heroes.
The mirror shield reflects projectiles.
Wait.
The wings of
Oh,
Pegasus
wings
give
of Pegasus. Oh, there we go.
and improve speed. And the arrow of light is the ultimate weapon of the gods that can murder basically anything.
The Arrow of Light is absolutely the deadliest weapon in Pit's arsenal, and increases in power based on Pit's own health and strength. And when all three treasures come together, Pit is granted the legendary Silver Armor.
Hell yeah.
Tapping into my stash of blue is-
Hell yeah.
Well, colors are different in heaven, I guess.
Weird. Well, Pit's learned several abilities throughout his adventures, like healing, dropping mines, and making his arrows invisible. And all of his skills came in handy. Not only did he defeat Medusa, but he's taken on alien pirates, a space kraken, and the god of death.
At one point when Thanatos attacked a village, he launched a large boulder which Pit obliterated so thoroughly it was completely pulverized in mid-air.
Wait a minute. How are those Trojan horse Star Wars walkie thingies not tipping over?
Focus, Boomstick. Pulverization is defined as reducing an object to dust, which certainly applies here. To determine the force necessary to do so, we first need the size of that boulder. For that, we'll compare the boulder to those
What game was this from? Or what movie was this from? I've never seen that before.
On your pocket protectors, nerds.
Interesting.
near to Pit appears to be about 11 feet.
It's like, wasn't that like from the, oh man, was it like one of those exclusive movies that you would see in Kid Icarus Uprising?
Is it? I've never seen it before. That's interesting. I've never seen Pit do that. That
yeah,
shows
it's
him to
like,
be, that shows him to be what
it's like,
like, I wonder, was that... Okay, that was Pit's strength. Yeah, so Pit is definitely way stronger than I thought he was.
huh, okay. So it's like, would it be safe to assume that it's like with, that feat of strength right there, like demonstrated by Pit? It's like, would that be more or not nearly as powerful as like Sora going, like slicing through buildings?
I think Sora still has it. In terms of strength,
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah,
And
that's
here's why I say
was
that.
thinking.
They're going into detail about about Pit about how Pit's able to destroy this boulder and such, but they only barely talked about the building slashing stuff, which probably means that's gonna end up being a major factor, which they're gonna talk about later if Sora wins.
Right.
With Pit's superhuman durability, he's tanked hits from gods and taken falls that would turn any normal man.
Yeah, Pit is very durable. That's the big thing.
A dead man, yes.
Yeah.
Final duel with Hades, the god of the underworld. Pit took a devastating blow that sent him plummeting at least 2,000 feet. Given Pit's weight, the impact of that fall would be over 8 tons of force.
And he was fine! This Hades guy can cut through giant diamond spires, so a hit from him could be as powerful.
And the fourth wall.
Oh shit.
Of course, while Pit may be formidable, he's not perfect. He has been tricked into losing fights multiple times, and often relies on assistance from his godly allies.
But this kick
Oh yeah. Oh shit.
first into a fight, even with his wings on fire.
In the name of the goddess Palutena, defender of all that is good, those who hide in the darkness will be made to face the light.
Alright, let's do this.
But first,
Yeah.
an ad for Blue Apron.
Yeah, we need like a sponsor ad.
Who had one?
Okay. Oh boy.
Hey, go get him!
Yep, there they are.
What he said!
So, where am I kicking this time?
Oh my god.
He's in Olympus Coliseum. Where's Hades? And Hades.
Yeah, no kidding.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
Wait a sec. Oh, okay, here we go.
Yep, so starting with the light arrows, of course.
Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and assume that these are voice actors doing all the voices for these characters. I gotta say, whoever did the voice for Kid Icarus is spot on.
Take this! Fire! Whoa! Ha! I've seen candles that are scarier than you.
Ow! Yeah. It's a hit to the jaw with a freaking yo-yo.
Ow.
Oh, there we go. Now we're in Kid Icarus land.
Oh god.
Sora, jeez. You can fly.
Oh, he's got the
Fly
cannon.
like Peter Pan, Sora. Fly.
No, but then we can't have this fancy parkour shit.
Parkour.
Damn.
love the Star Fox sound effect added there.
Whoa! Let's see what you think of this!
What is that?
Also,
Ragnarok?
Sora, don't forget you. what?
Yeah, that looks like Ragnarok.
Isn't
Don't
that
forget,
home?
Sora, you can't stop time.
Why isn't Sora flying? Oh, that's Sonic Blade.
Ow. Oh my god. Ah,
Okay,
again.
that's the third time Sora's gotten hit by that.
Uh-oh. Oh, there it is.
Damn.
Time.
Star Wars confirmed for Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh god.
Gravity, there it goes, and down you go.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh, wait a sec.
Yep.
Oh god.
So now we got
He pulled out the sacred treasures first. Uh-oh. I don't know about this. I don't know about this.
I'm actually, yeah, I'm kind of really not sure myself.
Well, it's like, I don't know. Pit pulled out the
That
secret
Pit's
treasures
winning
first.
that one, hold on.
Sora has, oh
That is
no.
not Sora's. Oh wait, no, Sora!
Oh! Oh! Ow! Oh!
Hey.
Well,
Didn't even need to drive.
damn.
Ouch! That's one way to fly too close to the sun.
Yeah, sorry, Danny.
I did not think that laser was stronger than Pit's.
that's where it's like, wait a minute, that laser is to lock a fucking door. How the hell is that a weapon?
Sora's reaction speed was quick enough to dodge natural lightning. A lightning bolt's return stroke.
Well, I was right, so.
Flash moves at around 220 million miles per hour, over twice as fast as Pit.
Yeah, that's right.
Simulation powers meant Sora was just too quick for Pit to land very many big hits. Plus, when Sora shot that Keyblade beam to the moon, it took 1 second flat.
That's 1.28 times the speed of light.
Oh shit.
Much faster than anything Pit's
It's
reacting.
like, yeah, but that's not a weapon.
To keep Sora busy. But Sora's impressive and wide-ranging magical arsenal provided multiple counters for pretty much anything Pit threw at him, including superior healing techniques.
Hey, remember that building Sora cut through? Sliced it
Oh,
up like
yes.
Yeah, there's that.
impressive enough, but this building was completely made of stone from top to bottom, and Sora cut through 7 at once.
These buildings may have been composed of a modest
Yeah,
stone-like granite,
yeah,
which has a minimal curing
7 buildings. As opposed to Pit, you know, just...
now they're explaining the building thing, which, like I said before, because they didn't talk about it prior, that means it's going to be a big thing.
Yeah. Yeah, so, yeah, like I said, it's like freaking slicing through 7 stone buildings, as opposed to pulverizing one boulder.
hits from. The amount of energy needed for Hercules to throw that rock
Disappointed, though. No Hades, god damn it.
been around 24 mega.
Yeah, that's true. Kind of a missed opportunity, but it's like, oh well.
So Pit had never survived anything close to Sora's strongest attacks. Just by numbers alone, Sora's strength, speed, and durability just outclassed Pit. And the Keyblade by itself had a way more impressive track record than any of Pit's weapons. You might say it was the key to this fight. And when we pit, it was bound to be a Sora loser.
The winner is Sora.
Wow.
Alright then.
Watching, check out the exclusive commentary on this episode by clicking the box.
Well then.
Thanks to McLeod Gaming for letting us
So what is the next fight? And is it going to be something that we're going to care enough about to want to commentate over?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. Wait. Hold on.
Wait.
Frank?
Frank West and Leon?
What? Oh my god. Really?
I think I'll pass on that.
I know, it's like, I'm vaguely familiar with one, but not all that familiar with the other, so I don't think I can do that one justice.
Oh man, I mean, it's so funny. I literally just watched through the Super Gaming Brothers play through Resident Evil 4, but But even then, it's like, I'm still not entirely familiar with Resident Evil, nor Dead Rising, because I put the first Dead Rising game down for various reasons.
Yeah, see, that's like, I'm vaguely familiar with Resident Evil. I mean, that's a series I have not kept up with. But I mean, at least, like, I've played Resident Evil 4, so I know who the fuck Leon Kennedy is. But it's like, yeah, I've never played those games, like the Dead Risings. I've never played them, so I don't really know anything about Frank Wesker or anything. I don't think I can do that one justice. So I think I may have to sit that one out if we decide to do it.
Well, in any which case, so the fight pretty much went as I thought it would, because I said, like, even before the pre-thoughts from the very beginning, this did end up being a mano-a-mano fight. Goofy, Donald, and Palutena were not involved whatsoever. And I kind of figured because of that, yeah, Sora just had a bigger advantage.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, granted, is like, even after the pre-thoughts, I still wasn't entirely certain on who was gonna take this one. But then it's like, oh, well, okay, yeah, BJ, you initially brought up how he has the ability to use gravity, and I definitely remembered the fact that Sora can stop time, which is something Pit could never do. And again, seeing as how stopping time is that broken of a power, it's like, yeah, already Sora has like a really huge advantage right freaking there.
There was actually a little blurb that I noticed that actually did bring up something that I didn't actually think of that makes a lot of sense. I said in the pre-thoughts about, Sora's magic, being able to run out, but it didn't actually cross my mind. It does replenish, whereas Pit's magic really is only accessible by the items that he's able to find. So,
yeah, also something that I completely did not cross my mind in the slightest, which it should have. Seeing as how I already went through that part of Kingdom Hearts 1. It's like, oh, how the hell could I forget the fact that freaking Sora could take down Hercules? Hercules, of all people. I mean, granted, Pit has taken on, like, Hades and a bunch of other people that are probably, like, close to being as strong as Hercules, but even then, it's like, how could I forget?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like, yeah, Sora fought, arguably, like, he fought 2 gods. Pit fought how many? He fought a lot. But it's like, if anything, I'm honestly surprised that they did not resort to the drive forms. I mean, considering that you had Donald and Goofy there, and I was like, really? I mean, I know I had asked, okay, just what powers are we giving Sora and everything? And I am actually very glad that they kept it simple. Like, they kept it mostly Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. Arguably the Kingdom Hearts games that everybody actually gives a shit about. But I figured that, okay, you've got Donald and Goofy in the audience. There's no way the 2 of them are gonna, sit still and everything. At some point, Sora would probably throw in a drive form. And I was actually surprised that, no, they didn't do that. So I was like, huh.
Well, they made it abundantly clear that Sora by himself, without any of those boosts from the drives, was still stronger than Pit.
Yeah, but still, like, in the fight, that's where I was just like, I mean, I was, like, half expecting that to happen. Where it would be like, they'll be in the middle of fighting and everything, and then it's like, oh, all of a sudden he merges with Goofy or something and brings out Valor form or something to do, like, a string of attacks or something. So that's where I was like, huh. Now, pleasantly surprised that they didn't resort to that.
Well, actually, now I'm curious, Danny, because you were bringing this up, like, as they were going through, like, as Wiz and Boomstick were going through, like, the aftermath of the fight. I mean, it's like, what was the deal with, Sora using that laser to open doors as, like, a weapon?
In Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, like, whenever you complete a world, the way that you have to, keep the Heartless out, so to speak, which is bullshit, because even when you revisit the worlds, the Heartless are still there, but, video games. But No.
It wasn't to keep the Heartless out. It was to keep the Heartless from devouring the world and turning it into and destroying it.
Yeah, but, like, that laser, like, usually whenever you finish off a world, Sora would have to find that world's keyhole, and it can be a variety of things. So the thing that they're talking about, where they're saying he shot the keyhole, like, to the moon and everything, like, that was Nightmare Before Christmas world. Because every world has, like, their keyhole, unique to their world. Like Alice in Wonderland, it was in the talking doorknob. In Tarzan, it was like in a tree or something. So in Nightmare Before Christmas world, it was on the moon. Because you think like, when you think Nightmare Before Christmas, you think like, the traditional art with like, Jack Skellington on that hill that spirals and it's with the moon as the backdrop. That moon is the Nightmare Before Christmas world's keyhole. So Sora, in order to lock, those worlds and everything, you have to find the keyholes and then you shoot a magic laser and then you hear the door lock and then it's like, okay, supposedly problem solved. And that's usually where those lasers come in is, he uses that mostly to lock the doors and stuff. I mean, yeah, he shoots other lasers, but like the one like at the end of that fight, that's where I was like, wait a minute, is that what they're referencing? Because if that is what they're referencing, that's not the function of the laser. Unless they're referencing for like another, because admittedly, I haven't played all the Kingdom Hearts games. Like I never played Recoded. I never played, I'm trying to think, actually I think Recoded might be the only one over here that I haven't played. Because I've played the other ones. So, I mean, that's like, so for all I know, or actually, it could even, for all we know, that could even reference something, because there's even Kingdom Hearts material that's Japan exclusive that never made its way over here. I mean, there's web browser games and phone app games. I would like to imagine they're not going to reference those, but, Kingdom Hearts, that's kind of the sad truth about it is that they put Kingdom Hearts shit on every fucking platform, and not everything is crossed over here. So, for all I know, maybe that is referencing something that I haven't seen. I don't know, but, again, that's where I'm like, if that's indeed the laser they're referencing, I question why they use that as a weapon.
It's like, coming from someone who, again, has not as much experience with Kingdom Hearts compared to you two, and is still not entirely finished with the first Kingdom Hearts game. Your guess is as good as mine. I'm just as surprised as you are. I had no idea that I mean, jeez, I don't know. I had no idea that could be used as a weapon. Yeah, I also thought it was just a means of like unlocking doors. I thought it was just a beam of light, not like a flat out laser. But even then, it's like, yeah, it's like, okay, I understand. I completely understand the outcome of the fight. I mean, that's cool and all. Honestly, I feel like there was like a lot of missed opportunities, like in the like when it comes to handling the fight itself. It was, I don't know. It's like it was cool to watch, but at the same time, it was also kind of a letdown. But it's alright. It was once again. It was so.
I'm going to quickly mention Brian from the Grave. He does bring up a good point. Sora did use that laser at one point as an actual laser, and it was in the fight against Xemnas.
Oh,
and that was in
right.
Which Kingdom Hearts game? Kingdom Hearts 2?
Kingdom Hearts 2, that's right. I completely forgot about that. That shows just how long it's been since I played Kingdom Hearts 2. It's when you pretty much knock Xemnas like down to like one hit point, they do a cinematic thing where you have Sora and Riku. Basically, they combine their powers, so to speak, and they shoot a laser through Xemnas, and it allows for Sora to just completely wail on him afterwards.
So I guess that being said, if for whatever reason, for the people who are watching this, if the Wizard Boomstick brought that up in the initial notes as we were going through each character, then we apologize in advance for missing that.
Well, I completely forgot all about that.
Right?
Yeah. So I mean, that's like that's stupid on my end.
Alright, but yes, that being said, that'll pretty much do it for yet another reaction/discussion on another Death Battle by Screwattack. Yeah, I think it's safe to say, considering the matchup for the next Death Battle within the next few weeks after this recording, yeah, we're probably going to be taking a little bit of a break from these until we run into another matchup that involves some other characters that we're more familiar with and we're more knowledgeable of.
And that we actually like.
Yeah, and that we actually like, yes. So yeah, I guess until then, tune in next time, whatever that might be, for yet another reaction / discussion on Death Battle. We'll see you guys whenever.
Yeah, we'll see
you guys later.
We'll see you in like 3 months.
See ya.